Good morning, dear listeners. Today we will study the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree. The Lake Isle of Innisfree is a fantastic natural poem composed by the milestone poet William Butler Yeats. Why I have added adjective milestone to this poet? Because this poet is so magical. This poet was born in 1865, died in 1939. Let me introduce you this poet. This poet is so great. He was friend of Rabindranath Tagore, our national poet. Rabindranath Tagore, who was born in 1861, died in 1941, was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1913. In 1912, he published Gitanjali in Bengali, and he himself translated in 1913, and the same year he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. This person, William Butler Yeats, wrote 4 words for Gitanjali, and what he wrote to read one line of Gitanjali is to forget all the worries of life. You can find it out, you can just think about which type of great poet he was. And William Butler Yeats helped a lot Rabindranath Tagore that his Gitanjali became world famous, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. Although the poem is very soothing, Rabindranath Tagore has penned a very nice lyric, no doubt, but his 4 words also brought a magical effect, because at that time William Butler Yeats was very famous, and he himself got the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. After 10 years, Rabindranath Tagore got in 1913, and he got Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. So you can just think about such magical relations between the poets, 2 great poets, Rabindranath Tagore and William Butler Yeats. Now William Butler Yeats has composed the poems like Sailing to Byzantium, The Second Coming, The Lake Isle of Innisfree. His collection of poems, The Tower, is very famous in the world of English literature. You can go through Sailing to Byzantium, and Byzantium he has achieved the height of religious faith. You can read, both the poems are so magical. And dear learners, this poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree is the place where this poet William Butler Yeats spent his childhood days. He spent the childhood days, and he was mesmerized, he was captivated, he was hypnotized there. And it is always in the heart of the poet, this place, Innisfree, it lives. He just thinks about it very deeply. He just tries to reflect the place very well in this poem, and he is fed up with the city life. That's why he wants to go to the place Innisfree once again. He is saying that I will arise. I have promised myself, I have just reminded myself that I will go, that poet will go, he will go now and go to Innisfree. Yes, he has taken decision that he will leave city life and he will settle in Innisfree, and a small cabin built there, and he will establish a small room there, a small cabin there, and of clay and wattles made. It will be made by raw materials. He will be using clay and wattles, sticks. He will be using and raw sticks to make this small room. And why he wants to establish a small cabin? Because he wants to live over there, because he is fed up with the city life. 9 bean rows, and he will have some plantation there. And which type of plantation? 9 bean rows there. 9 rows will be there, and I have there hive for honeybee, and he will just establish a beehive for the place for these honeybees that he will be enjoying at the place, and he will be living with these honeybees, and these honeybees will give him a company of solitary place, a peaceful place, and that is Peaceful place, it is synonymous with Innisfree for the poet William Butler Yeats. And live alone in the be loud glade. And he will live alone. He will establish himself there completely, and he will settle at the place and live alone, and he will be enjoying the place in the bee loud glade. And when bees humming sound will be there, he will be enjoying their glade, open space. It will be open space, and like city, it will not have a limited space. Village, you find open space, your ears are quite soothing, you don't listen the so many horns of cars and buses and trucks and bikes, so you are free from all those things, and your life becomes peaceful as the poet wants to declare it. And I shall have some peace there. Yes, and that's why the poet has taken decision to go to Innisfree, because he wants some peace there, because he wants to make his life peaceful. And for peace comes dropping slow, but peace doesn't come directly to you. Peace comes drop by drop to you, slowly to you. And that's why the title of the poem is The Lake Isle of Innisfree. The Lake Isle of, there is the lake and its island of Innisfree. The poet, as water drops, they appear drop by drop, as in the same manner, peace also comes drop by drop. Peace also is got by everyone drop by drop, slowly by slowly. Directly you can't be peaceful. You have to make a lot of practice, you have to set your mind, you have to change your attitude, and this, and dropping from the wells of the morning. Wells, clouds, dropping from the sky there of the morning, there it comes in the morning. And what's about the rural areas morning? You understand, you can imagine, it's so peaceful. And that's why Innisfree, where this lake is there, you get mental peace, and it comes slowly to the morning, and to where the cricket sings. And cricket sound, it makes the atmosphere more peaceful, it makes the atmosphere more pleasing, and that's why he enjoys cricket singing. Cricket, kind of insect, its singing is so nice to the poet that he enjoys a lot. And there, midnights. And what about midnights? At the place Innisfree, you find midnight also, that all a glimmer. It shines a lot. Stars are there in the sky, and you enjoy a lot there. And noon, a purple glow. And not only midnight, but noon also, you find no scorching heat, no such type of torturing place it is. It's purple glow. Noon also is so peaceful. Midnight is also so peaceful. Morning also itself is so peaceful. Everything is peaceful at the place Innisfree. You can enjoy a lot. If you want to visit, you have to visit. And poet is just convincing himself that the poet wants to visit, and why not, he is making an appeal to the readers also, that if you like, you can visit also. He is not saying directly to us, but he is guiding us indirectly, that if he likes the place, readers also will like this place. And who is the person in the world who doesn't like peaceful place? Everyone, I think. If the person is a human being, and logical human being, yes. And here, yes, and evenings full of, and what about evenings at the place of Innisfree? Full of the linnet's wings. Linnet's a kind of small bird. Wings are so beautiful of this bird. So this evenings full of linnet's wings, and evening also you can enjoy, like midnight, like morning, like afternoon, noon, and then you find that evening also, that you will get linnet's birds there. A lot of linnet's birds are there. Linnet birds will be there, and you can enjoy a lot the company of these birds. The chirping sound that you can find, chirping of the birds, you will enjoy a lot. And I will arise and go now, and that's why the poet has taken decision to just get up and to be prepared, to be ready, and to go now and for always, night and day, every day, that the poet will settle over there, and the poet will spend the time, the poet will leave the city forever, and the poet will settle over the place. And I hear the lake water, and he always hears, he listens to it, he is hypnotized to it, he is habituated to it. That's why the poet remembers always, when he was a child, he spent his childhood days at Innisfree. It was so peaceful place. Now the poet is fed up with the city life. That's why he has taken the decision. I hear the lake water there. Lake water, Lake Isle of Innisfree. The title suggests. So you find lake is there. So he enjoys listening to the sound of the lake water lapping sound of the water, lapping with low sounds, okay, or by the shore there, Innisfree, the place shore, it's a just side place of that lake, that it's so peaceful that you can enjoy here. And I stand on the roadway or on the pavements, different types of tracks, anywhere you are at the place Innisfree, but you will just find this magical effect of the place Innisfree. You will listen everywhere the lapping sound of Innisfree, such a pleasing, such a musical sound you get. It gives you a different kind of peaceful atmosphere, a heavenly atmosphere, a type of paradise you get, according to the poet here. And I hear it in the deep heart's core, and why not? And the poet, all the emotions are connected to this place, because the poet spent the childhood days there, and the poet remembers everything, and that's why poet hears it always, this sound of the lake, that drop by drop water that he listens at in the deep heart's core. Yes, all the emotions are there for this place Innisfree, the poet wants to say it. Yes, now we will just find it out, the literary device used by the poet. You find here that yes, poet has used here, I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. Here, go and go, repetition of the same words, repetition, figure of speech the poet has used. And then you can find here and anaphora, literary device, 2 lines, you can find it out in the same manner. Yes, there. And then it is the next stanza, there the stanza, that the first stanza ends with this and, but the next stanza also starts with and here. Yes, and there you can find it out once again from the wells. Wells here, it's a metaphor for clouds there, that from there it comes, the morning becomes so beautiful, so it's a metaphor for clouds. And then you can find it out here. Yes, and here, yes, lapping sound here. Yes, lapping. Here you find lake, lapping, and then low. So repetition of the sound L here. So alliteration, figure of speech, you get it in a very right manner here. You can find it out. So this is what that the poet has used, such a wonderful literary devices also. And if we find the rhyme scheme of the poem, it is quite clear. And rhyme scheme, I earlier also told you how to find rhyme scheme of the poem. You have to find it out in every stanza. You have to find it out the last word, this Innisfree, then made, then be, then glade. It means this line is rhyming with this and this line is rhyming with this. So Innisfree, be, made, glade. It means rhyme scheme is AB. Then once again you find it out here, slow, sings, glow, and wings. Once again you find the same rhyme scheme. So the rhyme scheme you can find it out of the poem is AB. Here also night, shore, and then grey and core. Here you, yes, day, shore, grey, and core, AB. So the rhyme scheme of the poem is AB. You can find it out. So this is the way to find out rhyme scheme. So my dear learners, you find that this poem is a very nice poem, is a very natural poem, is a very peaceful poem, and it's a very interesting poem. Everyone loves peaceful atmosphere in the life, and this poet has become a representative of the crowd who always likes peaceful atmosphere. So this is the way that the poet has presented Innisfree. The poet has made Innisfree as a representative of natural place, a loving place that you would like to love in your life. And you might be also, my readers, my learners, you also might be loving some place which is very attached to your heart. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.